Hello and welcome to Boomtown Hoops Live. I'm your host, Bobby Howard. With me today, as always, we got Jameson, we got Cody, and we're here to talk about Oklahoma City's 111 to 110 win. It's frankly been an exhausting day for all of us, so hopefully we can just relax, talk some basketball, and just kind of get away from it for a little bit. But let's just get down to brass tacks. What a weird game for OKC. Obviously, having a win over a very solid Pelicans team is good, but when you look at the results out of Brandon Ingram, out of Zion Williamson, 29 and 24 for Zion and Ingram, and then a Steven Adams triple double. That's certainly something you didn't expect. If I told you that would happen, I would not expect a Thunder win. But the boys pulled it out. Jameson, your thoughts on Oklahoma City's win tonight?
A lot of Thunder fans should be happy. Steven Adams doing well, getting his first career triple-double, and plus pulling out a win. And that was really nice. And do you remember the times where Thunder fans were clamoring, we need to shoot more threes. We don't shoot enough threes. We don't have shooters. We shot 46 tonight. We shot over 40% from the three. That is the future of the Thunder that we always wanted. And now whenever we have our worst team that we've had since the beginning of the Thunder, we're just firing from deep.
It's crazy. They're chucking it up. I kind of love it. If you're going to go for it and tank and not have a super incredible roster, at least we're having fun. We're throwing stuff up and honestly shooting at an incredible clip. And no one shot better than Mike Muscala, who went on a 9-0 run by himself, which was remarkable. There's a lot to unpack from this game for sure. We'll get into Muskie. We'll get into Baisley. Cody, your thoughts on a nice game?
It was a strong second-half performance. They really came out in the third quarter and really set the tone with Baisley, Shea, and then Muskie hitting those big heat check threes. Third quarter was really good. Fourth quarter got a little sloppy once the bench was in there. A lot of turnovers. The Pelicans made it pretty easy comeback once the reserves were in there, which is ironic because I felt like in the second quarter, the reserves, when they came in, they really kind of made the game into a game again. And so, I thought the bench played really well. Obviously, Baisley and Shea had fantastic games. Shea's playmaking and passing has just been superb the past couple games. And so really just a good growth game from the young guys. You see Shea drawing that foul on the three to kind of seal the game at the end. And so really just a good outcome for sure.
Absolutely. And let's get right into, I guess, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, definitely the story down the stretch. Maybe not for the whole game because Darius Baisley, just remarkable performance, maybe one of the best of his career. We'll get into Baisley in a bit, but Shea Gilgeous-Alexander really took this team and led them down the stretch, with some savvy moves, a lot of really good scoring, and that, 3-point play, drawing the foul on that really put the Thunder ahead for good. Jameson, your thoughts on Shea taking over and, really becoming the guy down here. Are you starting to get a sense that he's becoming more comfortable in the role? And what are your thoughts on Shea's performance tonight?
Yeah, he is evolving and taking the step this season that we all wanted him to. He had the ability last season to finish. He's probably shooting at a similar, I think his percentages are pretty low this season. He's got good volume. I think about 6 attempts-ish per game from him. I don't know the exact number. But his finishing an offensive game, that's been similar to last season, but with an increased volume. But what's really big with Shea that I've been really stunned of how well he is doing is his passing. His assist numbers are severely up. I think he had 9 assists tonight. And that's just something I didn't think I'd see from Shea. I didn't think he'd be a great distributor. And there was one really, really good pass that he had this game. That was, I forget, it was like a bounce pass to the middle to somebody. But it was just stellar passing from SGA this season and something I did not expect to see. Yeah,
absolutely. The passing game is something that's very nice. We never had a problem with it, but it was always something that wasn't his strongest suit for sure. So loving to see the advancement out of SGA from the passing side of things. Cody, your thoughts on Shea tonight?
Yeah, the one thing that I've always kind of thought that Shea really needed to improve upon is his defense, and tonight he was definitely at it, going up against Lonzo Ball. and some of the other wings that they have. He had 5 steals tonight, which is pretty uncharacteristic for Shea this season so far. I just felt like he was super active on the defensive end, which is really going to take his game to the next level. Like you guys are saying, his passing and vision on the court is substantially improving. If he can just kind of get to where he can be a pretty good defender as well, I think that he's going to be, hopefully a multi-time All-Star.
Absolutely. I got to give a shout out to the comment section right now, who is currently having an argument about Pokachevsky. He didn't even play, and we have to talk about Poku, I guess. But
he's the funnest guy to talk about.
I'll let them carry that conversation on. But yeah, great game from Shea. Let's talk about Darius Bazley, who just a very solid game out of him. As we noted, 20 points, 12 rebounds, another double-double this season for Bazley. Jamison, Bazley, he's looking more comfortable. He's looking better a bit as a rebounder, and he's coming out hot to start these quarters. What do you think about Baze?
Yeah, the way he started the game, I was a little bit worried. He seemed like he was getting bullied with Zion. I thought it was going to be a tough game, and on the surface, he did have a good game, but, his 3-point percentage is still down, something that he's been looking to try to get up this season. The thing is with Bazley, and whenever he went on that run where he had 12, 14 points in a row, I don't remember how much it was. We don't see that often because we don't really let him spread his wings that much because we play him like a role player this season. We've given Darius Bazley, you are the guy who's going to sit off and be your corner 3. You're going to play good defense on the other end of the ball, and you're going to push in transition. We did never give him too much just taking the ball and creating in his hands. And whenever he got hot, his confidence level went up to a level I've never seen before. He was creating for himself. He was making better cuts. He was shooting. He usually shoots without, any second thought, but he was still doing like that as well. The confidence level from Bazley tonight is something I have not seen, and that's what we need to look at when it comes down to Bazley's game tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the point you made about him spreading his wings, easily the biggest point in letting him evolve, is giving him the space to create, giving him the space to, make his own shot. That's something that we never saw last year. And the fact that we're getting to see that more and he's looking more comfortable, that is a huge step in his evolution. I love that. Cody, thoughts on Baze tonight?
Yeah, he's looking a lot more comfortable bringing the ball up the court. Shots looking a lot better. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but watching Brandon Ingram tonight, you kind of see glimpses of Bazley's game and his kind of coinciding. Maybe his career trajectory could kind of go in the same way that Ingram's has with his trade to New Orleans. He's a very good ball handler for his size, very lanky, can grab, a bunch of boards like we've been seeing this year. He's been getting a lot of boards. So, just really impressed with a guy that we got in the 20s to be able to be playing this well. Him and Dort, those two are going to be probably the steals of the draft when it comes down to it in the next 5 years. So, loving what we're seeing from the young guys, and hopefully they can just kind of keep improving. Yeah,
and speaking about Dort and Ingram, Max wants to know about Dort's defense on Brandon Ingram in that last possession. Really solid stuff out of Lou Dort. If you look at the score, the box score, it was a solid game for Dort, but absolutely defensively locked down Ingram at the end.
Yeah, it was big time. Whenever Ingram drove the ball and went right into Dort's chest, that's why you want a guy on this team. There's so many teams in the NBA who would die for a guy like Dort. And it is still, I said this on the last show I was on, I am still amazed how well he's finishing at the rim. He's becoming extremely efficient. He was a little out of hand last year whenever he was driving. He has a lot better composure. And how is he still shooting above 45% from 3? It is honestly amazing how much he's developed. And I keep on watching for him to drop, and it won't. That first 3 he hit this game was beautiful. And as soon as he shot it, he started running down the other end because he knew it was going in. And that's whenever a shooter has a stroke. So this is a really good sign moving forward with Dort. He's not a 45% shooter, but if he could end the year above 35%, play this defense that he did on Ingram and like he does on all the superstars that he goes against, that is an absolutely stellar guy that you could have on an NBA player team.
Absolutely. And, the contract, obviously phenomenal as well. But Lou Dort, just in general, I feel like we've been waiting for him to fall off since like last February or January. And it just hasn't happened yet. He just keeps getting better. I love it. Cody, your thoughts on Dort tonight?
Yeah, he's just playing with a great swag right now. His shots are falling. You can tell he's been in the gym practicing throughout the pandemic, working on his shot, which is great for us. And then, obviously that last play, he gets the ball out of Ingram's hands and he goes to Gilgeous-Alexander's cousin, who misses a pretty good look at a three. So, I'd much rather have him taking a shot than Brandon Ingram. So, his defense has just been spectacular this year. And he looks like a guy that, you can have as your 3-and-D going forward for the next 5 to 10 years. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's something that is an absolute steal for sure. So with this game, I kind of thought of an idea because we have a lot of headliners, a lot of great performers, but who is the unsung hero of the game? I'm going to call this the Nick Collison, Golden Charge Award. Who wins the Nick Collison Award for tonight's game, Jameson?
Kenrich Williams. No, I'm kidding.
It doesn't have to be a hustle play. It just has to be a guy that you wouldn't think would be a huge impact, but actually was.
We can go back to Hamidou Diallo again, I guess. I did this last time, but let's just say Hami. He had a great first half when it came down to energy. We don't want Hami playing in the half court, playing ISO, taking mid-range jumpers, turnaround jumpers. He's been trying to evolve that into his game, but it hasn't worked so far. But in this first half, whenever he was playing well, is whenever he was running the fast break, cutting hard, he was getting behind the defense. That's how you want to play Hami. And he was doing that in the first half, and it really helped us moving forward in the game.
With all due respect to Hamidou Diallo, he airballed a floater, and it just it's stuck in my mind, and I can't think of anything positive other than the airballed floater. But Cody, your unsung hero of the game.
Yeah, I don't know if he's necessarily unsung, but Muscala, obviously, I think was probably be the most deserving of this award. Hey, Sean agrees with us. Shooting 5 of 7 from 3, had those 9 straight points in that third quarter. I would say he's probably the most unsung from the bench.
Yeah, absolutely. The Musky Moose, an excellent performance from him. Really provided a spark, a lot of padding for whenever we had to rotate the Kendrick Williams of the world in there. That 9-point run was huge. Absolutely, 18 points from him. Great performance. I'm going to give it to George Hill, who a bit of a middling night, but whenever we needed shots, he showed up. He provided veteran presence, hit a really key 3 down the stretch to keep the Pelicans from really going out and getting hot down the stretch. So I'm going to give it to George Hill. Now, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Steven Adams with a triple-double, first in his entire career. Insane performance, just chucking balls behind his back. What was it like seeing Steve-O, going full Magic Johnson on us out here?
It feels so nice because as a Thunder fan in the past, we have had so much stress on our shoulders of having to win games. If we don't, we're going to get criticized by Colin Cowherd in the media, all of that kind of stuff. And now, even whenever former players come, you'd still want to beat them. And there's sometimes I'd be cheering against the former players. Now, former player comes, I want him to do amazing. First career triple-double with Steven Adams, that made me elated. That was so great. And it was almost a recipe for a perfect Thunder game in most people's eyes. So Stephen doing well and looking happy out there, messing with the Thunder coaching staff. What more can you want? I wish we could play the Pelicans some more.
Yeah, exactly. The tank people are very upset right now. Definitely gnashing some teeth at what was almost a Utah Jazz level perfect Thunder game. But hey, I'll take the win any day. Cody, your thoughts on Big Steve out there just killing the game?
Yeah, I'm really happy from a fantasy perspective because I started him in daily fantasy and he got a triple double. So really works out for my team for the week. But yeah, I mean, Steven, I got a soft spot in my heart always for Steven. Was my favorite player when he was on the Thunder. Love to see him doing well with the Pelicans. I was glad that he was traded to a franchise that really needs him as far as the Pelicans goes. You know, you see their defensive numbers are terrible without him on the floor. He really is a vital piece to their organization. So it's really nice to see him doing well with them. But yeah, really glad we got the win. So
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Just a really solid performance from the Thunder. Maybe too solid if you're in the tank command, but in general, great game. So let's just give our MVPs real quick before we ride off into the sunset for the evening and get ready for our Friday match with. I haven't checked the schedule yet. Who are we playing on Friday?
We're playing the Knicks.
The Knicks. The resound. The actually decent Knicks now. That's crazy. I'm very much looking forward to Thibodeau playing. Julius Randle 48 minutes a game. So that'll be remarkable. Jameson, your MVP for the night.
Here's why I didn't put him as my unsung hero, because he's my MVP of the night. It's got to be Mike Muscala. I was singing his praise the whole game. Every single time the Thunder shoots a 3-point field goal, that is whenever I get the most excited, and I got excited this whole game. Especially whenever it's a heat check 3 and it goes in, like, are you kidding me? That's the best 3 you can hit in all of the game. Mike Muscala opened up, and whenever we were in the second half, hitting a dead part in our offense, we couldn't get anything going. And a 3-point shooter can completely change the name of the whole, change the motto of the whole game. And that's what Muscala did, and he's the reason we won. We would have been dead in the water, nothing to do if we didn't have his threes.
Absolutely. It was a remarkable performance, and it makes me sad thinking about, like, what if Muscala was on that 2016 Thunder, or what if Dort was on that 2016 Thunder? We have a collection of guys who would have taken old Thunder teams to the top. It's a bit of a bummer, but it's fun watching them play now. Cody, who was your MVP for tonight?
Yeah, I think the easy pick is Shea or Muscala as well. But I'm going to just be a little different, go Bazley. I really thought his energy today was really good. And yeah, like Sean's saying in the comments, I mean, if he doesn't go off in the third, it could be a completely different game. Him and Muscala really kind of carried us in that third quarter. So I think I'm going to go with Bazley on this one, the intern.
Yeah, excellent selection for the intern for sure. I think that's definitely it. And he was easily my selection until Shai Gilgeous-Alexander took over at the end. He made plays in winning time. It wasn't pretty at all at all times. You had to get a bit, that ugly kind of scrappy performance out of him. But you know what? It works. And when you're playing against family like he was, sometimes you have to, you have to go to that extra level. And that's what Shai did. So I'm going to give it to SGA. But overall, great picks in general. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And all of our viewers, thank you so much for showing out on a Wednesday. Means a lot to us. And we will see you on Friday when we talk about our game with the New York Knicks. Until then, stay safe, have a good time, stay relaxed, and Thunder up.